Hello everyone, this is Crota coming at you, giving you guys some 2v2s here, and unfortunately only two of the players' names are not in Chinese, so it's going to be Team Infi versus Team Kobochi, is it Kabachi? Team Kabachi, yes, I'll just call them Teal versus Orange in this particular matchup. Both players that have an English name are under the human players, so it's going to be a human orc versus a human undead here on Tidewater Glades. Now, undead human has some very interesting combinations in terms of your heroes, but then again, so does human orc. Archmage will probably be the main hero on both sides for the human player just because Brilliance Aura is that good. Especially the more heroes you have, the better it is. And yes, it is an Archmage. And is it going to be another Archmage? Don't make me wrong, please. Please, oh pretty please. And it looks like Infi did a little bit of a different delay of a build, as now that Altar of Kings is now down. Let's see, Altar of Darkness is a little bit delayed. Meanwhile, Altar of Storms is going to be coming right on time, and that means a Blade Master is already being trained. Meanwhile, down over here, are we looking to go into Crypt Fiends? Yes, we are. So it is going to be a Crypt Fiend with Death Knight, most likely, from the undead player. Meanwhile, Archmage with Barracks, most likely as well. Now, the key thing here on Tidewater Glades is trying to speed build this Altar of Kings, allowing you and at least your team to do a little bit of extra creeping before everything else. Before the other heroes are in play. The Blade Master very good at disrupting any sort of creep patterns, and you really need to get that Archmage to level 2. A level 1 Archmage is just an over-glorified archer at that point, as he's not able to really drop down water elementals that frequently because of the lack of mana. Also, if that Archmage is at level 2, it does give the other hero, the Death Knight most likely in this instance, yes, opportunities to try and land a whole bunch of death coils. We are going to be seeing an ensnare now come down onto the Troll Trapper. As you see, the trolls are getting taken down. No real reason for the water elemental to be going after that troll berserker at all. You can take a look. There is a little bit of a critical strike there, and the Archmage will be getting to level 2. Meanwhile, Archmage over here is also sitting at level 2 as well. Blade Master now coming in, as the Death Knight is not yet out yet, and this could be a bit of a problem, as the Blade Master should be able to get some easy kills. There goes one. Did the Blade Master get some experience? Yes, he did, but that was just simply off of that one peasant there. Alright, Peon now blocking, and the Blade Master gets 2 quick kills, only using 1 Windwalk. This is going to start to add up over time. This is going to be rather painful, as the Blade Master already up to 75 experience, may be able to get to 100. Oh, this would be very bad news. Yes, it's already, no, was it denied? No, it wasn't denied. The other Archmage stole about 12 of that experience as well, as it was split between them, but the Archmage does also have Dust of Appearance and also the Scroll of the Beast. Archmage now attempting to run around in circles, as well as the orange Archmage is chasing the teal Archmage all across the map. Coming back around, there goes a death coil onto that poor unsuspecting footman. He walked around behind the enemy's base with no rhyme or reason other than to just try and regroup with his Archmage, getting caught in transit there just a bit. Archmage still running back around here, as we're taking a look at the 3 o'clock position and a 12 o'clock position. It looks like we are doing a little bit of teching already, and what I really like about 2v2 games is how fast the pace of the game is. Because you have twice the income and twice the supply to work with while still being in low up or no upkeep, you can really macro up a decent sized army that can actually deal damage and take down a base. This is something that you do not normally see in 1v1s, as Crypt Fiends are obviously not very good in trying to take down other buildings. Alright, what is this? An army of skeletons and footmen now coming in to engage, and it may be able to take down a couple of these grunts. The Crypt Fiends are just absorbing a whole bunch of damage, but at the same time, that Death Knight, with the help of an Archmage earlier, does have plenty of mana still. However, that Death Knight now starting to get low on mana, only able to heal up another 200 hit points. You can see damage is being dealt now. The Death Knight waiting to get another Death Coil off, as that Crypt Fiend is currently low on hit points. 261 hit points. Are we going to see, yes, the Crypt Fiend starting to get in a little bit of that damage, doing a little bit of that stutter step as well. The poor Footman, already down to 117 hit points, is going to be able to escape there, as now the Archmage is backing off. Where is the Archmage here? Archmage now finally joins in with the rest of the party, as the Death Knight now finally gets that Brilliance Aura that was so key. Alright, it looks like Infy's team currently has the upper hand, as the Blade Master and the Grunt are actually caught a bit out of position. This is not going to be good news for them, as the Death Knight now tries to wander back off to the north. Alright, Archmage doing a little bit of crazy creeping at this point. Not quite sure if that was really the best use of time, as the Blade Master now comes in as well. Alright, Blade Master going in after that Crypt Fiend. Are we going to see a Dust of Appearance charge used? No, we are not. The Blade Master still running around here, as it is split up compared to the rest of the army. Footman now trying to back off. Archmage could use that Dust of Appearance. Now the Death Knight still has plenty of mana. Not quite sure why it isn't death coiling these Crypt Fiends to try and keep them alive. Has plenty of mana right now, and that mana is just going to continue to grow. Alright, one Crypt Fiend on the wrong side of the tree line there. Finally comes back in. There's the Death Coil. It is a little bit late, as it's already down to 377 hit points, as the Death Knight still regenerating some mana, but not nearly as quickly as it would like. Coming back over here, Blade Master and Grunts running off together by themselves, as the Archmage still taking this opportunity to try and do a little bit more creeping. It looks like Mantle of Intelligence has been added, and are we going to perhaps see another Death Coil coming? Another Water Elemental comes in as well. Double Water Elementals and Crypt Fiends all the way, pushing back this 2-on-1 fight. I'm not sure why the Orc army is trying to put pressure in such an unfavorable position, especially since the human undead army has so much ground to give. Alright, in comes the Archmage here. You can see the Arcane Sanctums are getting attacked, or trying to get taken down here. You can see a little bit of damage so far has been mitigated, as the Footmen are just really deep inside this area now. This is not going to be a good spot for them to be, and the Arcane Sanctums are pretty much done. Death Coil onto a Footman that didn't really do very much at all, as the Militia and the Footmen are just fighting back against this army. Alright, so many peasants, so many Footmen are low on hit points. Meanwhile, the Blood Mage siphoning mana into the Archmage there, so a bit of a mana battery strategy here, as Infy could really siphon some more mana off of this Archmage again. Alright, it looks like this Water Elemental is kind of stuck here. Not going to be in the best of spots, as we're going to look at what is that one low hit point Footman going to be able to get away. It looks like it will be able to. Meanwhile, Infy's team is just creeping out while he still can. Toma Strength +2. Blood Mage still has plenty of mana. Not quite sure what's going on there, as we are now looking at the Archmage going in for a bit of an engagement. Water Elemental now being forced to back off here. And now we finally see some good creeping coming in from the orange team. It may be a little bit late though, as the Archmage now sitting at level 2, almost level 3, pretty much at level 3 by the time or any unit falls here. Meanwhile, the Death Knight now sitting at level 2. Level 2 Blade Master, level 1 Blood Mage, level 2 Archmage as well. So both sides are actually creeping. So this is still fairly even if you're looking at the hero levels, but it really feels like Infy's army is just slightly more ahead, but that may not be the case. 40 supply, 43. So orange team actually has the larger overall supply advantage right now, as the Crypt Fiends could be coming in for a easy attack here. There's a Frost Nova, a bit of slow, but all counteracted by a Speed Scroll. All those units now running all the way back home shouldn't have a problem. And this is still a bit of a coordination issue by the orange team. The orange team is constantly fighting in 2v1 situations, but somehow they are not as far behind as I thought they would be. Not quite sure why that is the case here, as we're now looking at clearing out a red creep camp. Death Knight, Archmage, Blood Mage, there you go. Archmage now sitting at level 3. Blood Mage siphoning mana away from the Shaman. The Shaman now pretty much out of mana, as the Death Knight picks up a Staff of Silence and also a Tome of Agility +2. Very strong item there. If you can silence a Blade Master, he becomes essentially a low or a high damage knight. Very high armor, very high damage, but doesn't nearly have as many hit points as a knight, at least not quite yet. 650 hit points on that Blade Master, as apparently there is a hex onto a sorceress. That sorceress not going to even turn back into her original self. She is now taken out of the contest. back over here. They are going to see a little bit of a split here. What's going on? Militia now being called over, and the Crypt Fiends, and this is actually a bad spot for Infi to be in. Infi now backing off here. There are a whole bunch of militia joining in on this fight, and now here comes the attacks now. Are we going to see that poor priest get taken down? Militia, Blizzard now coming in, as we see it a little bit of slow as well. All right, this is a big fight here happening. A little bit of flanking. Blood Mage does throw down a Flame Strike. Another Flame Strike comes in, and wow, all of orange units taking a severe amount of damage there, as the Archmage now getting siphoned mana out. Silence on that Archmage as well, pretty much out of mana there, as that Blood Mage is going to try to land off more and more Flame Strikes, but the orange team is just absolutely winning this, pressuring back. There is no way for Teal to actually fight in a good spot here, but the Flame Strikes may be able to cause a little bit of a zoning. A Death Knight now currently Hex, now backed off down to 121 hit points, now forced to back off again. We are looking at more, and what was that? Was that a spell steal? Infi, I'm not 100% sure what happened there, but it looked like it looked like a spell steal, but I'm not 100% sure the Blood Mages actually have spell steal yet. Blood Mage pretty much out of mana there, and orange is just in a dominant position. 50 over 50 supply, 50 over 50 for both sides. Meanwhile, Undead sitting at 43 over 60 and 46 over 54, about a 10% difference in overall supply. All right, let's come back around here. Crypt Fiends need to do a little bit of catching out of position. You can see skeletal minions and skeletal archers and warriors are now making their way over. Meanwhile, the Crypt Fiends could try and catch his opponents off guard here. This could be a bit of a problem. The Crypt Fiends are very good at taking down the casters, all except for the Spellbreakers, since the Spellbreakers have medium armor. All right, the Skeletal Warrior off over here just doing a little bit of scout, a little bit of annoying pressure. Not going to really amount to much, as we can see a Furbolg Shaman now trying to run away. Oh, getting slowed, and arcane feedback from those Spellbreakers, as we may see a bit of an engagement. Siphon mana onto that Death Knight. The Death Knight now being forced to back off. There's a Blizzard coming in from the orange team, straight up on top of a lot of casters, as the Spellbreakers are now trying to engage. Another Flame Strike comes in, so a massive amount of AoE dealing terrible damage to all of those low hit point units. But now we see slow being used. All right, one Blizzard taking down two Sorceress and may be able to deal a lot more damage again, as the Death Knight at level 2 falls. So far, we are still fighting it out here. Blade Master going after the Blood Mage. Blood Mage does get taken out, and it looks like Infi losing his Blood Mage. We are now pretty much down to one hero each for the Teal team. Meanwhile, Blade Master, Shadow Hunter, Archmage, Blood Mage is going to perhaps be able to seal the deal there, as another Obsidian statue gets taken down. There is the second one, and I believe that is going to be the GG. Yellow or orange team easily taking game one, and is that Kabauchi? I don't quite know. Kabaichi? Not exactly sure how exactly to say that name, but a very strong showing from the team. Human Orc extremely strong and able to get ahead. Resource score, gold mine, was a little bit of a different story. You can remember that the orange team was forced to try and speed build, but that's why the human players, well, why would the human players actually have more? Well, I don't quite understand that. Anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys, oh yeah, resource score, they are the lowest. I hope you guys enjoyed game number 1. Please stay tuned for game number 2.